Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of the e-commerce lab by Ecomcy, the place of everything related to Amazon and e-commerce in general. My name is Vincenzo Toscano, founder and CEO of Ecomcy. Today, we bring you a very special person. Her name is Veronica Poniatowski, and she's the brand evangelist and head of business development at Zonguru. Which is actually an amazing tool. It's a tool that helps you with everything that has to do with pro research, keyword research. I mean, everything that you need to do with your Amazon business. And because of that, today she's going to be doing actually a demo to understand what are the basics and what are the things you should be considering whenever you want to do a pro listing optimization, and how you can use Zonguru to find those important keywords and add them to your listing. However, before we jump into that topic, I want to give you a few minutes, Veronica, so you can introduce yourself, say hi, and yeah, let's get started, right?
Yeah. No. Hello, what's up, everyone? Thank you for having me on the YouTube channel. So I really appreciate your time. I'm in the Amazon space. I'm an Amazon seller myself, so I am passionate about the space, and I do like teaching people how to get into the space, especially people who are like on the fence or just beginning. Like, I know it can be such a it's a completely different world, and it can be
Yeah.
overwhelming. So I do love doing this kind of teaching to get people involved, because it is an exciting space to be in.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I think, to be honest, when it comes to content, sometimes we find that there is so much content out there, but at the same time, I feel that for beginner people, sometimes there isn't so many presentations like the one we're going to be doing today, that we're going to explain the basics. We're going to go through the tool, how to use it. So I think it's amazing that we provide these trainings, because the reality is that we need more content like this out there, right? It's the only way we can keep supporting the community, support new Amazon sellers, and make sure they can succeed on their journey, right?
Yeah, exactly right. And I think, less is more. It needs to be clear, one step at a time. And then once you've got that, step nailed and are confident, then you move to the next one. So I am looking forward to this presentation as well.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, if you want, we can start by a brief introduction of what is Zonguru, how it can help Amazon sellers, and for sure, then we can use that to jump into today's presentation, right?
Yeah, awesome. Exactly. So for those of you who are unaware of what Zonguru is, Zonguru was founded in 2016, and we are an Amazon business tool suite. Now, we have 16 tools that are integrated into Amazon's 10 largest marketplaces, and our tools take an Amazon researcher seller from product research, keyword research, listing optimization, monitoring and alerts, reviews, financials, and or automations, and we're also shifting to provide enterprise solutions as well. And one unique, pointer or fact about Zonguru, which I personally love, is that our software is built by sellers for sellers. So our CEO, our CTO, down to our customer success team, and obviously myself, we are all sellers. So it is a team of sellers. We know what, the challenges that comes with being an Amazon seller. We completely feel you, basically.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's amazing all the tools that you guys have. I mean, to be honest, it's a one-stop shop for an Amazon seller. It's amazing, and that's why I always recommend it, because I think it's so important for an Amazon seller to be efficient with everything that they do in terms of times and interaction with the business, and just the fact that you can have everything in one single place. That's amazing, right? So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly right. No, thank you for that feedback. And that's exactly right. You need to have, when I meet sellers and I'm like, oh, what tools are you using? They're like, oh, I'm not really using one. It blows my mind. I'm like, how are you managing your business? How are you optimizing your business?
Yeah.
And if you're not doing those things, how can you expect to scale your business? So 100%, a tool needs to be part of your everyday, point of contact in running an Amazon business.
That's great. That's great.
Right, so which brings me on to today's presentation. So,
Yes.
Vincenzo, as you said, a lot of perhaps the audience that are viewing this video are maybe Amazon researchers or sellers that are just entering the marketplace.
That's correct.
So, as you said, I want to start with basically the basic fundamentals, because I'm often surprised with conversations that I'm even having with sellers that are live on Amazon, but they don't actually understand the importance of keywords, optimization they're listing, and mostly because they're not using a tool. So it blows my mind here. If you're new to this space, please know that there are epic tools such as Zonguru, and tools that have been created to make your life easier as an Amazon seller.
That's good.
So it brings me to the topic that I'd like to chat about today, and that is keywords and out optimizing your competition on Amazon. So we're going to have 3 objectives for today, but before I point them out, I want to say that keyword research is part of every step of an Amazon journey. So, in product research, in creating your listing and optimizing that listing, as well as your PPC campaigns. So I just want to point out that for today, I'm only going to be focusing specifically on keyword research and listing optimization. So keeping that in mind, the objectives of today are, number 1, I want you to clearly understand what keywords are and why they're important to your Amazon business, where and how to find the most impactful, strong, and relevant keywords using Zonguru tools, and then how to use these keywords to out-optimize your competition and obviously be on page 1, because ultimately that is the goal. You want your listing on page 1.
For sure. That's great. Let's go.
All right. So as I said, starting with the basics, what is a keyword? Amazon keywords are the search terms that people type into Amazon, search by to buy your product. So therefore, you can immediately see why they're important. Amazon is a massive search engine. People go into Amazon, type in the product they're looking to buy. So if you're not using the keywords or the search phrase in your listing that your customer is using to find the product, how can you expect them to find your product? So if you're not using the keywords that your customers use to find your product, you are literally leaving money on the table. And it doesn't matter what you call your product, it's what your customer calls your product. And again, that's why tools come in handy, especially in different marketplaces. I'm in Australia. Australia slang versus American slang, very different.
It happens a lot.
Yeah, exactly right. So you need to use tools, to search for those keywords. So evidently, so clearly, you need to have your most powerful, relevant, and impactful words in your listing, which is exactly the point of today's presentation. So the goal is to rank on page 1 for the strongest, most relevant keywords and out-optimize your competitors. But how do you achieve this? So you achieve this by knowing, firstly, the most relevant and impactful keywords. This includes short and long tail keywords. What keywords your competitors are ranking for and using, and which keywords are easy to rank for. So this can determine how and where you use certain keywords in your listing. So, title versus bullet points, maybe versus A+ content or product description, for example. And there's actually now, I'm looking at, there should be a 4th one. You need to also know the relevant keywords that your customer is using as well.
Yeah.
Right, so now you understand very clearly. It's very simple. It's simple to understand, but you need to have that knowledge first. So now you know why it is important to have these keywords and where they go. Where do you find them, and then how do you actually use them to create a listing that is better than your competition? So you're on page 1, and your customers are obviously buying from you. Well, I guess that's where Zonguru comes in, and that's why I'm so passionate about this space. So I will be talking about, in particular, our Keywords on Fire tool and our Listing Optimizer tool, followed by our Keyword Tracker, which helps with monitoring. So in a moment, I'm actually going to give you a high-level overview of the 3 tools, just to show you how they actually interact with another, and seeing the timeline of how it progresses. And then I'm actually going to dive into Zonguru itself and give you a live demo.
That's great. Let's go.
Any comments to add before I jump into that?
First of all, the 3 tools you are mentioning right there, they are super important. The most important, I think, that a lot of people miss is actually the keyword tracker, because I have seen so many times people doing optimization of the listings, but they don't track the performance that they're achieving, right? So I think having a keyword tracker for sure is going to be super key. But to be honest, what I'm more excited to wait for you to show is the Keyword on Fire tool, which I have used, and I'm pretty sure when people see the power that they can bring to a listing, they're gonna like it a lot for sure.
Yeah, awesome. So yeah, I love all the tools. I'm not supposed to have favorites, but I do really feel that our Keywords on Fire and Listing Optimizer tool are OG tools. They're really great. So on that note, so Vincenzo's favorite Keywords on Fire tool. So just an overview of it first. So the goal of our Keywords on Fire tool, it is a reverse ASIN lookup. And what this tool does, that it takes the keywords that your top competitors are using in their listing and ranking for, but also the keywords that your customers are writing into the search engine that is Amazon. So our Keywords on Fire tool is presenting to you your most relevant, impactful, and strong keywords that you should be using in your listing, as well as your PPC campaign. So that's number one. And in a moment, I'll be going into more details of what data points you're actually looking at. But once you have your keywords, you save them. And then obviously you're going to put those keywords into your listing optimizer tool. Now, the goal of our listing optimizer tool is to create a listing that is better than your competitors. So you're out optimizing your competitor, meaning that you're using the most relevant, strong, and impactful keywords all in your listing, but also in a better way in your listing as well, to increase your chances of ranking on page one. And then lastly, we need to track the performance of those keywords. I'm going to show you how you can track the organic ranking of your keywords once you have made changes to your listing, so you can compare, okay, this is working, this isn't, and obviously make changes. As we know, creating a listing, it's not just, oh, you do it once and walk away. It is your
always doing it. 100%. I think, to be honest, keep optimizing a listing, and that's why I brought at the beginning the keyword track is super important, is because sometimes I feel that people think that listing optimization is done just when you launch your product and that's it, but actually that's not the case. And that's why I also think the listing optimizer tool that you're going to be explaining next is super key on that perspective, because the listing optimizer tool, which you're going to go more in depth with, that is nice, that it's going to allow you to understand which kind of search volume covering, what is your score compared to competition. So I think once you also start touching on those points, I think it's going to be more clear for people to understand why they need to always keep optimizing their listings and be on top of their keywords when it comes to the Amazon listings.
You're exactly right. So on that note, I'm going to jump into Zonguru's dashboard itself. So I just wanted to show you quickly first, this is Zonguru's business dashboard. So when you have your account, this is what your dashboard looks like, and you can connect this account to your Seller Central account. So you've got a high level overview of what exactly is happening in your Amazon business.
Right.
You need to be able to track it, have a look at it. My favorite thing is we've also got an app. Every time you get a sale, if you want to, you get a little cha-ching. And like everyone loves, in the morning you get a few cha-chings. It's always a great way to start the day. So as I previously said, we've got 16 tools, and they're all on the left-hand side here. And we're going to go to Keywords on Fire first. So This is the Keywords on Fire tool. As I said, it is a reverse ASIN lookup. And here we are getting your most strong, impactful keywords. Now, you can do this search in two different ways. You can add an ASIN in here separately, and you can add up to 25 ASINs, which is a lot of ASINs to grab data from. Or secondly, you can actually do this by product phrase. So for today's example, my product is going to be an exercise band. So I write in my main buyer keyword, I'm selling in the United States, and I press search. And what Zonguru actually does for you, it actually brings the top 25 competitors that are ranking for your keyword. I'm going to go ahead and select all. You can have a look, make sure that they're all relevant. If you feel that a product isn't specifically or particularly relevant to yours, you can deselect it as well. You go add products, you see all the ASINs there. You simply write in exercise band and you run the session. So after you've run the session, it takes a few minutes to gather all that data, but you press on the I, and I've already opened up here. And then you've got all this beautiful data. Now, from a high-level perspective, because there are so many numbers on this page, I don't want anyone to feel overwhelmed. So everything is beautifully in order, okay? So from a high level, what exactly are you looking at here? We have 24 ASINs that this data has been pulled from, as well as the keywords your customers are writing into Amazon. We have given you, I'm going to get rid of this. We have given you 497 unique keywords. So we have given you 500 keywords to play around with. Again, most impactful, strong, relevant keywords. Even from this 500, you're going to want to filter down.
Yes.
We've given you a good amount to start with. You don't need 10,000 words. because
Yeah, for
10,000
sure.
words can't be the most relevant and impactful strong keywords. We've given you 500. And then here we've got total revenue as well as total search volume. And this is the total search volume and revenue that these keywords have brought in over the last 30 days. So it gives you a great indication of the demand in the niche that you're looking for as well.
Yeah.
So now diving into the data. So there are so many points here. You don't need to be worried about all the points, depending on where exactly you're looking in terms of, you're doing product research, you're creating your listing, your concentration will shift. But for the point of this presentation, I'm going to point out just a few to show you. So we have our Zonguru score, and it is a score between 0 and 100, and it's basically bang for your buck of what we believe you should include in your Amazon listing. We've got keyword revenue, search volume, but this top 25 competitors is a great one because we show you out of your top 25 competitors, what competitors are actually ranking for that keyword. So very quickly you can identify gaps. Okay, this keyword isn't being taken advantage of. Can I do something with that? We've got our Zonguru launch, which is actually super cool. So it's a bit of a wordy one though. So this number is the number of units you need to sell in one day during your honeymoon period to rank on page 1. So it gives you quite a lot of information in terms of demand, inventory management, so things like that when you're going into launch. I've obviously given you a PPC bid. But here what I wanted to show you is a visual representation of where your competitors at ASINs are ranking for the corresponding keyword. So this number here, they are number 12. This ASIN here is number 12, position 12 for the corresponding keyword. If there is a dash, it means that they do not rank in the top 200. So you can very quickly see what ASINs are not utilizing or not ranking for certain keywords. Then you can also pick up certain keywords that many of the ASINs aren't utilizing. And again, jumping on, taking advantage of those gaps.
Yes, I love this part of the tool. I mean, to be honest, this part of the tool, we use it also just as an extra tip for our audience. We just don't use it for list optimization, but we use it for product validation and just having a look at the competition, seeing if they actually already overtaking all the main keywords. That gives you straight away a glimpse of understanding if that's actually a saturated market or not. Because if you have the top 25 competitors already dominating most of the keywords, that means it's going to be very difficult for you to penetrate the market. So I think this tool definitely has multiple uses besides listing optimization. That's why it's great. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And I think I said earlier, your keyword research, depending on where you are, you're going to use it differently. So product research, listing optimization, PPC, you're using it every time. This is not just one tool that you're going to be like, oh, I'm creating my listing, that's the only time I use it. You will go back to this tool multiple times and always. Yeah, so it is very powerful. Now, obviously, the next stage that we're going to do is we want to create a listing. So I want to just show you that there is an ability to add filters here. So for example, if you're creating a list of just your long tail keywords. So for those of you who don't know, a long tail keyword is 3 words or more. A short tail keyword is usually 2 or less, okay? So for example, I'm going keywords. I'm looking for number of words greater or equal to. So let's do 3. I'm looking for my long tail keywords. I go filter. And now I've got 360 keywords. So previously we just had under 500. Now I've got 360 keywords. So you can continuously filter down depending on what exactly you're looking for. So if I go to my PPC bid, I'm looking for my PPC. I want to all the keywords that are bidding for less than $1.50, for example, and that are long tail. Now I've got 72 keywords.
That's great.
So then you can filter down, and then you can actually go ahead and save this. So you save it. You can go exercise, band, long tail, PPC 1.5, whatever you want, and you can save it. You can save it for additional use. There's no need to export or download any of this. So we've eliminated that fluff. So let's say I have saved my keyword list for my listing and I'm moving over to Keyword Optimizer. I don't need to download anything. I've saved it. So then I move to our keyword listing optimizer tool. Now, I've already got a few data points in here, but I'm going to explain it to you first. So as I said, the goal of this tool is to out-optimize your competitor, and be on page 1. So how is this done? It's got 2 sections of this. First, you've got your keywords on the left-hand side. So you would go and import your keywords. So from the session that you previously had created, it will be saved there. And then you simply press load keywords and they're imported. So that's number 1 there. Number 2 here, this is listings, and this tool has 2 epic advantages. The first one being is that you can actually compare your ASIN to your competitors side by side. So as you can see here, I've got 3 competitors here. And what I'm actually going to show you is how easy it is to actually add the competitors in. So over here, I'm on Amazon.com. I've got exercise band. This is our Chrome extension. So I obviously want my top competitors. So a few ways you can get your top competitors. We have this unique feature here where this box, we've got a 1 and a 2. This actually indicates that this product has a number 1 click, which is super powerful. So I want this product. I'm going to copy this ASIN here. I can also filter this by revenue. So now I've got all the top revenue. So I can copy these ASINs, and let me just make sure I've copy the right one so I don't have any duplicates. So I can simply go here. I paste this ASIN in, add ASIN, and as you can see, it's brought in all the data points for that ASIN. It's literally taken just a few moments. So I've got a title, I've got bullet points, I've got description, and everything, and so forth. But another major advantage of this tool is that for these competitors, that we actually have access to their back-end search terms, which is such a major benefit when you're creating your listing, to see what your competitors are doing in the back end, because obviously this isn't seen on the front end on Amazon
for sure.
when you're on Amazon.com. So
it's great. I mean, just the fact that you can compare your score with other competitors, that's a massive one, because with other tools, you are kind of working blind. Like, you think you're doing all right, you think you're covering all the keywords, but you don't really know where you are. But I think here that you have the score and you can see what kind of a position you have compared to the rest, that's amazing. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's right. And the score that Vincenzo is referring to is this optimization score. So we have this objective score that you can actually see how much better your listing is than your competitor. So the optimization score is the overall quality of your listing calculated by the strengths of the keywords used and where they are placed. So for example, this listing's optimization score is 24,000, this one's 26,000, we've got 25, and this one here is 19. So for the sake of this example, I'm going to pretend that this is my listing, and I'm like looking at it and I'm like, okay, well, I've got my top competitors, but mine is the lowest score. So obviously I've got a bit of work to do. So this is where the fun starts, if you like. So on the left-hand side, you have these keywords. You can see when I scroll down, you can see the positioning of the keywords, but here it gives you a closer indication. A star is an exact match in the title. A non-colored in star is a broad match in the title, and the tick is included in the listing. If there is nothing there, it means that it hasn't been included in the listing. So ideally, you want to have as many stars, but we do need to remember that yes, we want the most relevant and impactful keywords in our listing, but there is an art that you still need to have copy, and you still need to add value to your customer. If you just cram keywords in.
Oh my God. I see that all the time. You see these titles that they just say water bottle, water, mountain, water, white, and they combine the same water bottle across the whole title, and is, for example, as a product, is madness. For sure, you need to include some copyright in there.
Yeah, that's right. And it just looks like spam, and people don't like spam. So we need to. So there's a fine line. But what I want to show you here is that my score is 19,500, and I have made a few changes to the title. So my changes have come directly from the left-hand side. This isn't my product, it's strictly from just looking at these keywords. And you can see that it's not crammed full of just random keywords. It makes sense as describing the product. You can see my optimization score has gone to up to 30,000 just by adding a few words, relevant, impactful keywords to my title. And just by making those minimal changes, I've already out-optimized my competitors.
Yeah,
so you
that's
can
great.
do it so quickly once you have the keywords that you actually need once you have those impactful, relevant keywords. And you can continue making those changes in your bullet points and in your description and so forth. And once you're actually happy with your listing, you'll still have a few keywords left over. So for example, these bold ones indicate they haven't been included. So you can actually go ahead, click on this, and as you can see, they've been automatically added to your backend search terms. So I can continue clicking these, and you can see my score, continues to grow, which is fantastic. And then once you're like, yep, perfect, I have out-optimized my competitors, which I have done here. I'm utilizing all those relevant, impactful keywords better than my competition, and I'm increasing my chances to be on page 1. Now, because your Zonguru account is connected to your Seller Central account straight away, you can actually upload this and publish on Amazon immediately. So again, it eliminates that annoying step of downloading, copying, pasting, or however you do it to get it onto your Seller Central account as well.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, that's amazing, to be honest. Yeah. Everything is great. I mean, this tool we use is so much that I always recommend it because it opens your eyes in terms of how you're positioning against others, and just the fact, just that those 3 data points at the top, that it makes it worth it, because you need to understand where you are, otherwise you are playing blind, right? So
yeah, that's completely right. Favorite tool makes the biggest impact. And obviously, once you've made those changes, you need to track it, as we've both said. So then in monitoring and alerts, we have our keyword tracker, and our keyword tracker is super easy to use. You literally just put your ASIN in here and press add. And what we've given you is suggested keywords. Now you can edit these and add your own if you've got specific keywords that you would like to add. But we show you the current position, and then we show you any position changes. So obviously you need to track your changes. Are you heading in the right direction? Are you going backwards? And so you can make changes. So this is based off of the organic ranking for the keyword.
Okay. Just to clarify on this keyword tracker. So this keyword tracker, how often does it usually give the updates in terms of period? Is it every 24 hours, or you can decide on that so people can understand how it works? Yeah.
So it's not live. So this update is based on when you have actually added the ASIN to it, and then it's every 24 hours you will get an update there.
That's correct. Okay. Thank you.
Alrighty. So now that I've shown you the tools, now you understand that how to find your most relevant keywords. Number 1, you've got your relevant, impactful keywords. You know how to out-optimize your competitor in your listing, and you know how to track your progress. So as you can see, it is very simple, but just because it's simple doesn't mean it's easy. So it does take practice, and you go over it and over it, and then things start to fall in place, and it gets easier and easier.
Yes, for sure. I think, I mean, sometimes people get scared when they need to learn how to use all these software tools and how to integrate with the Amazon business and so on. But I think it would be nice to mention that you guys have amazing training videos, right? All the tools also outline how to use the tool, how to integrate with your Amazon business. So I think it is definitely worth trying, because as we mentioned from the very beginning, if you're not using nowadays 2022 a software to optimize your Amazon business, you're really staying behind, right? 100%.
It's completely right. And on that, I do believe our training is fantastic. Each tool in the right-hand corner we have video tutorials. So we have all the resources for you to use to learn it step by step. However, I do realize that, especially if you're new to the Amazon space in general, it is nice. I always say you need a mentor, you need a course.
For sure.
That's how I personally got into Amazon. My mum bought us a course, and that's how we fell in love with the space. So if I can, I'd like to share a bit of an offer with your audience.
Sure.
May I assist them with that as well?
Yes.
So Zonguru, we have all the live trainings for our tools within the tools, but sometimes people just need a little bit more help. We have a few challenges. So this is a rapid ranking challenge. So this is for those who have a product already live on Amazon, but they're not sure. They're like, oh, I'm not sure, have I fully optimized my listing? Am I using the correct keywords? What's happening with my PPC campaign? It's basically for people who have launched, but maybe either newly launched and not sure what they're doing, or their listing has stagnated a little bit and they need a bit of a lift. So this is a quick challenge. It's only 7 days long. So each day we drop a video and a task, and you can't go forward. So you have to do one at a time, and then it unlocks itself. So there's no way that you can get overwhelmed. It's one step at a time. It's in your own time. So I highly recommend, if you're not sure what you're doing with your listing and your PPC campaign, or you're new to the space and you're live, I highly recommend.
Yeah, sounds great. So basically, it's kind of like you guys work with the client intense day by day to help them fix all the main issues you may have when your product is not selling and ranking in the first in the early periods of your product, right?
Yeah, that's right. So it's not live training, but within the modules, we have videos. So I
That's great.
believe I'm training you in this one. So
Oh,
it's I'm giving you a tutorial on a specific topic. So for example, keywords, or it might be a specific PPC launch strategy. I give you a tutorial, and then I give you a set of tasks to be able to achieve
that's
those.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds amazing. I'm gonna make sure to add this link for sure in the description so people
Yes.
can find out about it. Yeah.
Perfect.
Great. So I think we cover everything today in terms of keyword research, what are keywords, how to use them, how to optimize the listing. So, I mean, I want to thank you for all the knowledge that you dropped today. It's very valuable. And for sure, I think people need to find out and try Zonguru. I mean, it's a tool that I recommend always, because all the tools that you have in one place is amazing, and I think for sure you need something like this in your Amazon business. But yes, I mean, before we end today's episode, I just want to also give you an extra a minute or so you can also explain to people how they can reach out to you if they have questions around some guru, they want to maybe book a call with somebody from the team, or yeah, anything that you think can be beneficial and helpful for the audience. Feel free to share now so we can conclude today's episode.
Perfect. Well, thank you for the opportunity. So, as I said, guys, if what I went through today in terms of keywords and listing optimization, if you're resonating that and you're like, that's where I'm at, but I'm not quite sure what to do, the challenge that the link will be dropped below is 100% for you. If you're just curious in the Zonguru tool, say you're using another tool, a competitor tool, or you haven't been using a tool, do visit zonguru.com. I'm sure we can add a link there. We do have demo videos in there, as well as having the opportunity to book a call with me as well for a demo. So I'm more than happy to jump on a call with you and show you how the tools can work. And I also want to drop additionally, this is something that has only come out last week as of when we are recording this.
That's great.
Is that we actually do offer one-on-one consultations. So if you
Okay.
need someone to actually hold your hand a little bit more, have a conversation, look at your business, we do offer one-on-one consultations, but you need to be a Zonguru subscriber, and it does come with an additional cost. But
Yes.
we do offer that now. So if you're interested in that, just reach out to our support on zonguru.com for that as well.
Thank you. So yeah, Veronica, I think everything sounds amazing. Thank you very much once again for all the offers, all the content, and definitely looking forward to have you on the next one, because I think we have so many tools in Zonguru that we need to do so many other videos so people can learn more about it. But yeah,
Be
excited
more than
about that.
happy to. No, thank you
Yeah,
so much for having me. It's been great.
it's a pleasure. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you.